knows he can hurt him.
Eto mga boss, pambato natin na si EUMIR MARCIAL na may kartadang 7 wins, 0 losses, and 4 knockout ay muling haharap sa matinding salpukan sa September 19 kontra sa pambato ng Amerika na si OMAR ULISES HUERTA. May kartada naman itong 15 wins, 1 loss, 1 draw at ang 3 dyan tinapos sa knockout. Kaya sa kartada pa lang nitong Amerikano mga boss ay walang duda na mahirap itong kalaban para sa ating kababayan. Bali ito naman ang huling nakalaban ni OMAR HUERTA kontra Vito Mielnicki. So nitong April lang ang kanilang salpukan mga boss, kung saan ay natalo sa labang ito si OMAR HUERTA via unanimous decision. Naka-black gloves itong si OMAR HUERTA mga boss.
Crazy with Mendrick Taylor when Richard Steele stopped the fight when Folisar Chavez beat him by knockout with just a few seconds left in the round when Mendrick was winning thunder and this ninth out ended. Every time he tried, the Italian's response was forceful. In greater proportion, in a greater cascade, of all colors and flavors, he began to throw so many punches that he already unleashed hooks to the liver area in his right straights and even low blows by Obrador.
Yes, sir, but there was dominance, total dominance. This one, even the low blows were better. At the beginning, OMAR HUERTA looked quite good. He looked very good at the beginning of the rounds, but he gradually wore himself out. Without a doubt, Mielnicki dominated from 0 to 10.
Ayan ang galawan ng isang OMAR HUERTA mga boss. Kaya malaki ang pag-asa na mananalo ang ating kababayan kontra dito kay HUERTA. Ngayon, balikan naman po natin ang huling laban ni EUMIR MARCIAL sa Trilla in Manila nakaraang taon na ginanap sa Araneta Coliseum, kung saan nakalaban niya si Eddie Calmenares. Ito na ang magandang salpukan mga boss at talaga namang wala itong atrasan.
He's won 5 of his last 6 fights. Out of his 11 knockouts, 5 of them came in the first round. And his only 2 losses in his career were decisions, one by majority and one by split. And look at his long arms. Definitely a big advantage in terms of reach. He's got 5.5 inches, an advantage in reach over EUMIR MARCIAL.
I was looking at him in his corner as he was just bouncing on the balls of his feet during the announcements, and he's got some confidence about him. Physically, he's long and lean. He looks more than 2 inches taller than MARCIAL that the tail of the tape showed us, and as you say, he has got crazy long arms, which is a very useful thing for a fighter. You look at his record, and he's been at welterweight and super welterweight before tonight. He won the Venezuela title back in August at super welterweight, so this is his first time up at middleweight, which could make a difference. MARCIAL was very much a 160 pounder.
He reminds you a little bit of Fedora.
Sa salpukang ito ay talaga namang nasubok dito ang ating kababayan.
One thing about MARCIAL is that back in 2022, he went down 3 times in his fight against Isaiah Hart. He came back to win on a stoppage in the 4th round, but he's vulnerable. He can be hurt. He has gone down. Let's see whether he can take the power of Colmenares, a man they call El Terrible, picking up from the legendary Eric Morales. MARCIAL has to get inside that long reach of Colmenares to be able to make some kind of effect.
Almost managed it there, just stepped onto the inside, but couldn't quite find the home for the left hand. That jab was pretty effective from Colmenares, but MARCIAL's just closed the gap the last few seconds.
MARCIAL kicking with the left hand. He's got to put pressure. That jab of Colmenares is going to be there to wave him off.
Grabe ang lalakas ng mga pinapakawalan ng dalawa.
Colmenares here's MARCIAL opening up. He's closing in the gap. Colmenares just has to keep on punching. Otherwise, he's going to leave himself wide open for MARCIAL to attack. That's exactly what MARCIAL wants to do.
Ito round 2 mga bossing.
And then the head will open up as a target for EUMIR. Colmenares shooting that left jab and it's following it up with the right. Marcial needs to put pressure. He can fight it from a distance. He's not going to be able to reach Colmenares. But EUMIR feels like he's got the range down pat. He's got to take a step closer.
Very, very well there because the feet were quick. The jab was a little bit slow for Colmenares, and he was on him straight away. And he looks dangerous when he gets onto the inside there.
Blood is streaming down from that cut near the left eye of Colmenares.
Just there, that's where he stands up a bit tall, Colmenares. He throws that left hand and the weight goes into his heels and the chin comes up in the air a little bit. If he can get nice and tight, Marcial, then he can do some damage here. Colmenares has got to keep jabbing. He's allowed Marcial to get the fight at mid-range now, and he's going to catch that hands like that. If he does that, he's got to get it back on the outside and try to shoot that jab.
Marcial is aware that the opening is going to come after Colmenares throws that right hand. After he throws that right hand, then he's open for a counter from the left hand of Marcial. Here comes Marcial. EUMIR is finding his target here. He's certainly close to him. He's moving closer and closer to his target. He's finding the range.
That's exactly it. You hit the nail on the head. He's found the range perfectly now, and he's locking on to Colmenares. He's just got to take his feet out and just keep throwing that lead left hand. If he trades with him on the inside here, it's going to be great for us to watch. But I don't think long term it's going to be great for him. Cut's opened up a bit wider, I think, hasn't it?
Yes, it has. And again, he's really not going to his jab, talking about Colmenares. Marcial is goading him to go toe-to-toe. That's exactly what Marcial wants him to do.
He's obliging, which is making for a really, really good fight to watch. Colmenares just swinging that right hand. Good finish to the round. He fancies it. He's got plenty of fighting spirit, but ultimately he's playing Marcial's game there.
Marcial is also doing a good job of moving around Colmenares just to move away from that very pesky left jab. He's got to move away from that jab. Over to the right hand.
He's got to keep throwing that jab with some authority, Colmenares. That's the key here for him, because Marcial's just waiting for him to neglect it a bit or forget about it almost, and he'll be straight on it.
You see EUMIR just biding his time. Well, Colmenares has that right hand cocked. He's waiting for Marcial to make his move. Once he comes closer, you know. Nice change of levels there from Marcial. Left hand coming in here for Marcial through the defense. Nice connection there by EUMIR. Colmenares is trying to back up, but finally cleared his head.
That's a good response from Colmenares. He's after solid left hand and just finds himself on the end of another combination here. He wants to mix it up on the inside, and he's having some success. That's a really good right from him.
Flurry of punches here coming from Colmenares. Marcial got tackled.
Grabe ang dami kong magpakawala ng suntok tong si Colmenares, mga boss.
Gets tagged once again.
Ayan na bumagsak si EUMIR dito sa round number 3. Sabay lumipat ng upo sa may corner, mga boss. Grabe ang tinanggap na suntok ni EUMIR sa round na ito, mga bossing.
But he just might survive this round to clear the cobwebs.
You'll be a bit worried about your gas tank. You don't want to blow it too early in the piece. I'm sure that's on his mind and just causing him to take his foot off the gas at times. He'll want to be able to finish strong. But having said that, when you get the opportunity to take somebody out, you need to try and do it. And these are all the things that come with experience, aren't they? I think he did go for it a couple of times. He probably felt it wasn't quite there.
Marcial being urged to continue to attack the body. Colmenares is beginning to throw punches once more, and he's hitting it strong.
Ang tindi bumato ng kombinasyon itong si Colmenares, mga boss. Talagang nahihirapan dito ang ating kababayan.
He looks very, very tired, and so does Colmenares. What a great back. This is a war of attrition.
Solid left hand there from MARCIAL, who I think has picked up a bit of damage to that right eye. This is just terrific stuff. Colmenares, you have to tip your hat to him because he's been up against it for the last few rounds, but look at him go.
He comes up with a flurry of his own there. His arms feel like they're made of lead, and that's Colmenares. But he's willing himself to give it that one last ounce of strength to get back in the game. Clearly one of the best fights of the year. Colmenares trying to steal this round with a late flurry. Heck of a battle. As we enter round number 8. Marcial is probably thinking what Pacquiao would be doing, at this stage. And I think at the same time, you have to be able to think you might have to go the full route of 10 rounds.
I think he has to have that in his mind now. And that's most likely what's going to happen because you see Colmenares with some very, very solid shots. And every now and again, he's come a little bit loose, but always managed to get himself back together. And he's still very dangerous himself. So he's got to stay as tight and as compact as he can. Look after himself in there, but go out and win these rounds. What a good card we've had though tonight. These fights have been very well matched. Really good action all the way through, and this has been the best we've won.
As we've often said, this is going to be a triumph of the human spirit. Senator Manny Pacquiao is watching at ringside. EUMIR Marcial doing everything he can to will himself to win this fight. On his birthday at that, his 30th birthday. You can't even say that these two are...
Ito ang magandang salpukan, mga boss, toe-to-toe talaga. Hindi katulad ng iba, atras abante puntos.
One big push. That's what the fans are hoping. EUMIR Marcial will give it that last big effort to bring down Colmenares. Their second win. Big shot here by Colmenares, but he's missing. Colmenares coming out of that rest period, smoking.
Marcial took that right hand well, but those are not the kinds of punches you want to be shipping at this stage of the fight. Another one there gets through.
That defense of Marcial looking very porous at this stage as he's getting smacked by Colmenares. Colmenares is scoring a whole lot here. Yeah, it's a burst of energy on the part of Colmenares. That's a great comeback by Marcial, though. This is going to be real tough for the judges to score.
But he's 4 points down now on 2 scorecards, 2 points down on the other. And if I were the corner, I'd be having a real close look at him because if it starts to get hot and heavy for him in this round, they just stop it. do the right thing here. He doesn't need to do anything silly, does he? Because he's ahead. The only way this could go wrong is if he gets knocked out. He doesn't need to be a hero. He'll want the big finish. He can just hit those punches, stay tight, stay compact, not give anything away.
Yes, he could actually just cruise through this one.
Kotkutan ng bodega.
He gets over the line here if nothing goes wrong in the final 2 minutes. This is such a valuable fight for Marcial because this is a really hard 10 rounds. Sometimes the fight goes 10 rounds for the first time, but they have it their own way and they set the pace and they do what they want when they want it. This has not been that fight. This will do him so much good. He'll look back on it in the field and he made mistakes. Fighters always do. There are things to work on, but I mean, this is worth more to him than all the rest of his fights put together.
Totally agree.
Just a perfect kind of contest for this stage of his development as well. And we've said it before tonight, but the matchmakers need a lot of credit. The way they put together this card is really, really good.
Every single fight has been competitive. And we might have just saved the best for last. Another big flurry here by EUMIR Marcial. He wants to end this with a flourish. Final minute. And Colmenares is on the verge of collapse right here. Just one strong finishing kick from Marcial. Colmenares is going to go down. Here's that kick we were talking about. EUMIR wants to win this.
Nasingitan pa nga si EUMIR sa huling round mga boss. Masipag rin kasi talaga bumitaw ng suntok si Colmenares. Ganun pa man nakuha pa rin manalo ang ating kababayan via decision. Kaso naging kontrobersyal bakit daw si EUMIR ang nanalo sa salpukang ito. Samantalang 2 beses nga raw si EUMIR humandusay sa lona. Habang sinasabi naman ng ibang expert kono na tama lang daw si EUMIR ang nanalo. Kasi dinadaya rin daw tayo sa ibang bansa. So abangan na lang natin ang laban ni EUMIR kay OMAR HUERTA sa September 19. Maraming salamat po.